Macmillan Audio presents The Fallon Legacy by Robert Jordan, writing as Reagan O'Neill, read for you by Raphael, Corkhill. Book 1. Charleston, 1822. Chapter 1. Robert Fallon's high cheekbones and hooked nose, gifts of a black Irish ancestor, and his piercing blue eyes normally gave him a piratical air some thought odd for a Charleston merchant. He was 6 feet tall and muscular, despite his half-century. Of late, however, worry lay on his face. It was only January, but he knew already that 1822 would be a hard year. The papers piled on his study desk showed clearly that once again there would be little, if any, profit. He fingered the black band on his coat sleeve. It was 2 months since cholera had flared on the Sea Island plantations, 2 months since his alluring half-sister had died. If her death had eased some strains, it had brought others. Her children, for instance, Charlotte, 19, blonde and pretty, was no problem. But Edward, almost 14. Edward was a special problem. Reminding himself that he was to meet that morning with the executors of Catherine's estate, he decided to check the morning mail before leaving. The top letter was from New Orleans. He ripped it open. My dear Mr. Fallon, I take pen in hand as representative of Lagarde, Thibodeau, LaFontaine, and Smith, attorneys at law and executors of the late Esteban Lopez. The late Esteban Lopez, he thought in shock. Lopez had been a close friend and a business associate. They had gone in the path of violent times together before Robert had settled to being a merchant. He read on. Among his papers were documents indicating that he had undertaken certain sales for you, and was soon to forward the sum of $70,000 in gold. Unfortunately, his estate is remarkably small, and quite unable to come near such an amount. I regret to inform you of this, but it is my duty to say that Lagarde, Thibodeau, LaFontaine, and Smith have no connection with any dealings that you may have had with Mr. Lopez, and can in no way be held accountable for these moneys. If you wish to bring a claim against the estate— He let the letter drop. His friend was dead, and to his horror, he could only think of the $70,000. That money had been meant to cover projects already begun. At the foundry, Kenneth Graham, his young Scottish engineer, was attempting to duplicate the process for making English steel. He'd had a new steamship, Comet, built for the express purpose of trying to make a profitable steam crossing of the Atlantic, something no one else had yet done. Damn it, he needed that money desperately. It was a good thing he was finally meeting Catherine's executors. He was certain to be made a trustee of her estate for the children. That would tide him over, and the money could be repaid in a few years, long before the children were old enough to receive control. Abruptly, he made a grimace of self-disgust. Was he that desperate? Had he sunk that low to risk their inheritance? Loud voices outside his door pulled him out of his funk. He went out to find the hall filled with gabbling children and maids. Albert Varley, the butler, a tall, thin man with blue-black skin, was trying to restore some semblance of order. "What in blue blazes is going on here?" Robert shouted. Silence fell, all of them staring at him as if he had appeared by magic. Edward was the first to recover. "Nothing, sir. It was an accident, sir." Fallon blood had given him high cheekbones and blue eyes, but on him the eagle nose had softened its curve, and his hair was silky light brown ringlets.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?